strike incoming.
Be out in the open. Can't see him right there. This one right here is pretty cool.
Oh my god! Alright guys, so realistically I think 90% of the people who watch my channel are actually using the wrong sensitivity. And I'm not here to say that there's any perfect sensitivity or there's one that you know, a pro player uses that you should definitely use. But the reality is, based on the controller that you use and the setup that you have, is going to determine how you react in games and how you shoot people. And for example, I was using a controller that just had a lot of stick drift, unfortunately, so I just switched back to my other PS5 controller, and for some reason 4-4 was too fast for me. Like, I wasn't hitting as good shots, and I know, like, I still play low sense, so you're like, oh Seal, you're jumping to different sensitivities. You were playing 1, now you're playing 4, and now you jump to 3, you might jump to 6. So it really does depend on your setup and of course your play style. So I will say that no matter what sensitivity you play, and it's okay to share them and like go to other people, but the reality is somebody who's amazing at 7.7 is different from somebody who could also have their peak performance at 4.4. And usually the way I determine this, if my sensitivity is too fast, is of course the shooting range. And by that I mean if I can consistently look at targets left and right, so they're moving right now, right? I'm going left, right, over, like moving multiple times with my hip fire, and that's very important because hip fire, aim assist. This is really going to show your strength on how you can lock onto multiple targets without having to rely on any special gun or being any specific distance to them, because you want to still have the opportunity to kill somebody far away with an SMG, even if that's not the most optimal thing to do in the situation. That's just going to show how strong you are with your sensitivity. So right here, if I'm shooting people, I can do it like pretty fluently, right? But on my 4.4, I was noticing that it was pretty hard for me to latch on to multiple things. Like I'm over compensating multiple times with my aim like that. So when you're overcompensating, that is the first sign that you are using too high of a sensitivity. And of course the opposite can be true as well. Like if you're undercompensating, which usually doesn't happen, because if you're on a lower sensitivity, you're just going to keep moving until you touch the target. But if you do play too low of a sensitivity, you can't really move and you're not going to be able to get loot fast and fight multiple teams and all that stuff. So what I would say to find like your best sensitivity is just keep going, like higher sensitivities, nothing past like 8 or anything like that, that's too crazy, until you start overcompensating. So let's just say you're at 5.5 and you're still looking at targets really good, and you're not overcompensating or over like aiming for your target, then you should be fine with that sensitivity. But this, like the very single sensitivity where you start overcompensating just a little bit, where you're going a little too far like that, turn it down. Like it doesn't matter how low you are. Like I'm on 3.3, I want to go over here, I'm not, like, it's crazy. One sensitivity difference, like going from 4 to 3, makes so much of a difference for me. Like I'm able to control it so much easier. And if you have to, I'd rather you use a lower sensitivity. That's I'd rather you be too low of a sensitivity than too high of a sensitivity, because if you're too high, you're just gonna miss a bunch of shots, but you're gonna be able to run fast. But if you're too low of a sensitivity, then you're just gonna be really good at aiming and not be able to get out of situations or get loot in time and stuff like that. So I'd rather you get more kills and die because you can't move than just be really fast and not get any kills. It really defeats the point of playing the game, because you're trying to get kills and win. So yeah, that's that's how I would go about finding like my perfect horizontal and vertical sensitivity. Of course, everyone has their opinions on the ADS sense. I just like to keep it at 1 and not change it at all. But that right there is really going to help you find the best sensitivity for your potential. And I really do think that training for sensitivity is like, oh, I'm going to train to be good at 1010, or I'm going to train to be good at this so I can have faster reaction speed, and then on top of that I'll be able to kill a lot of people. I personally don't believe in training for sensitivities. I think if you could just walk in and then go and shoot people without even warming up in the game, that's probably the best sensitivity for you. And even if that was true that you could train for sensitivities, it is a big waste of time if you're gonna play a game and then you have to spend 30 minutes on a warm-up before we even play that game just so that you can have a good game, instead of just saying, okay, I'm gonna play Call of Duty, and then just going up and everybody like it's nothing. Like, also another thing I would do too, I did in the past, I think in the other Call of Duty, is I would pick 2 places, and without any aim assist I will look at them left and right and see if I'm overcompensating. So like for this fire alarm, and I don't know, let's just pick this point right here, right? I could look over here, look back to the fire alarm, look over there, back to the fire alarm, look over there. And if you could do that pretty consistently, it doesn't have to be perfect, then you're on the right track and you're on a good sensitivity. But if you're on something higher, so let's just say even 4-4 for me, right? I'm on 4-4. There, look at the fire alarm, look over there, look at the fire alarm, and it's like this whole time I'm aiming for this, and for some reason I keep aiming all the way over here instead of that. Alright, so those are like 2 small things that you could like track with your current sensitivity to make sure that you are on the right one, see if you need to lower it or if you can possibly raise it. But if you have that in place, then your aim should be good, as long as you're following all the aim assist steps and just having, you know, good gun selections and things like that. And even if you have bad gun selections, you still should have really good recoil control with a good sensitivity.
Enemy soldier incoming. Marking the rest of them. Hostile UAV overhead. Contact in the area. Deploy. Use your attack map to... Enemy dropping into the AO. Mark remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. Hostile bomb drone is active. Marking the rest of them. Hostile UAV in this sector. Scan and score them. Is confirmed. We've located the rest of them. Actual to Ultra One. Position prep for contact. Ultra One, I'm not seeing any rogue troops in the area. You're clear for now. Marked remaining operators from that squad. Hunt them down. All Ultra, be advised. Be enhanced operators in the area. Engage with caution. Marking the rest of that squad under attack. You've got a loadout drop inbound. Target down. Marking the rest of them. Hostile UAV in this sector. Use your attack map to hunt down the rest of them. Confirmed. We've located the rest in this sector. Marking the rest of that squad on your attack.
tracking a rogue suit near your location. You'll need some heavy firepower to take him down.
Losing ground.